Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Get Prepared to Succeed session, or GPS for short. This session is all about starting off on the right foot academically at UNCG, and we're here to talk to you about different ways to do so. My name is Andre, and I'm a staff member here at UNCG.
My name is Jessica, and I'm a faculty member here at UNCG.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Wynn, and I am a current UNCG student.
And my name is Kaylee Del Greco. I'm also a current UNCG student. We have a number of things that we are excited to talk to you about today, along with some videos that we hope make you giggle. So let's dive right into our first topic, Canvas.
I have so many courses, and all of them have all of these different requirements and all of these different due dates. Like, how do I manage all of this?
Oh, it's easy. I just put a reminder in my phone just a day before each quiz or exam, and then a week before each paper. That's all you need.
Just like a day?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Can you show me how to do that?
Yeah, you just...
Cool. Okay, I have quiz due this week. Cool. Okay, and a paper. I should be fine. 2 papers. Okay, maybe I should work on that. Okay. 2 papers, 3 tests, 3 quizzes, all due this week, and a presentation. This was a bad idea. Hey, did you get what our professor was talking about with extra credit?
Yeah, it was on Canvas.
It was? How'd you see that?
It was right here under the extra credit assignments.
Oh, wait. Wait, how are you seeing that?
That's right here. I turned on my notifications and saw it under the assignments section.
Oh my god. There's 9 assignments on here that I didn't get notified about.
Well, here, you can turn on your notifications through settings.
Oh, nice. So I missed English's extra credit, but there's another one right on here for sociology, so we're all good.
Nice.
Hey girl, guess what I did today?
What?
So I let my friend borrow my phone to look at the name of that actor whose name that we always forget.
Yeah.
And she was in my notification center and she saw my notifications on Canvas and she asked me how to do it. So I pulled up her Canvas on her phone and showed her how to turn on notifications on settings just like you showed me last semester.
Girl, look at you go.
I know, look at me go.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to studying now.
Okay, bye.
There are lots of tech tools you'll use while you're a student at UNCG. You'll use iSpartan to access your UNCG email, your UNCG calendar, and Google apps like Google Docs and Google Slides. You'll use DegreeWorks to keep track of your progress towards graduation with your academic advisor. You'll use UNC Genie to register for classes, view financial aid information, and more. But the tool I think that you'll use that is most closely linked to your academic success will be Canvas.
If you haven't used Canvas yet, don't worry, you will. As a UNCG student, I use Canvas constantly. Canvas is where I submit a lot of major assignments like papers. Some professors want you to turn things in on paper, but a lot of it's done on Canvas now. As we saw in the video, professors also use it to post announcements like if class is canceled or if they've posted an assignment. In some of my classes, we've had reading quizzes in Canvas or have used the discussion boards. If I'm on a computer, I go to canvas.uncg.edu or click on the Canvas icon on UNCG's homepage, but I also have the app downloaded on my phone.
We included downloading the Canvas app as a major academic hashtag goal in the video you just saw because it's one of the easiest ways you can keep up with what's going on in your Canvas courses. You can get the app for both Apple and Android, and it actually works really well. If you're not an app person, or if you're worried that one day Siri and Alexa and other digital assistants will take over the world and you want no part of that, you can just connect online. The screenshots you see on the slides show where you can access Canvas. Your login credentials are the same ones you use to get into your UNCG email. I work with a lot of students, and the one piece of advice I want them to know right away is that every instructor uses it a little differently, and they often don't know if there's something going wrong on your side. So if the assignment submission isn't working or there's a link that goes to nowhere, email your professor. You can do that directly in Canvas using the inbox feature.
I use that to email my classmates too. One thing I would recommend to every new UNCG student is to set up a Canvas profile with a picture. That way, if I'm in a group with someone named Taylor and there are 4 Taylors in the class, I can use profiles to narrow down which one I'm trying to get in touch with. Just be sensible about building your profile. Everyone associated with your class can see your profile, so obviously don't post anything you wouldn't want them to see. Also, be sure to take a look at the notification settings. You can customize them completely based on what you like, have them sent to your email, and you can change them anytime. It's probably best to start off getting too much information rather than too little, but you do you. Just don't ever turn them off entirely. You might miss something important.
And if you ever need any help, you can contact UNCG's Information Technology Services, also known as 6Tech. You can find their contact information at 6Tech, the number 6, tech.uncg.edu. So to cap off our discussion about Canvas, one of the most important items you will typically find there is your course syllabus. And that's what we'll take a look at next.
Hey girl, did you have a good summer?
Hey, yeah, it was great. I actually studied about Rome.
Wow, seriously? I'm jealous.
Yeah, it was so cool. How was your summer?
Not nearly as interesting as yours. What are you doing here?
Oh, so I actually have all of my syllabi out because, like, you know, every course is different and they all have different attendance policies and grading procedures and all that fun stuff. And last semester I had like 4 quizzes due at the same time and it was like really stressful. So I'm trying to avoid that this semester and I have it all planned out in my agenda.
The same thing happened to me last semester. I swear, course syllabi like contrast between us and faculty. Where did you print these at?
Oh, I printed them at the Super Lab. You get $3 in printing each semester, which is like 75 sheets.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go do that. And if you're still here, then we can mark everything up together.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm concerned about my paper grade and it's unfair. And if you don't fix it, I'm gonna be put on probation and I'm gonna complain about you.
Well, let's look at the syllabus. So I asked for a total of 8 pages and yours was only 7. I also asked for 3 sources and you only gave me 2. I also asked for an outline that was due 3 weeks ago and I never got one from you as well. This rubric also outlines the points, which is why your grade is the way it is.
Well, I didn't know any of this because you didn't remind us.
Well, so it's in the syllabus and we went over this the first day of class, so that's not an excuse. If you want to complain about me, then you can complain about me following my syllabus.
Thank you so much for meeting with me.
Yeah, no problem. What's your question, Corey?
So I had a question as to how I got this grade on this paper because according to the syllabus it's supposed to be 5 pages and have 2 sources and have a draft turned in 3 weeks ahead of time. So I did that, so I was just wondering as to like how I got this grade on here.
Yeah, I'm glad you came to me about this. Let's talk about this together.
Did you know that the word syllabus was pretty much invented by mistake based on a mistranslation of Cicero's letters from Greek to Latin? These days, when we talk about a syllabus, we're usually talking about a document that an instructor creates to outline a course. One of the best things you can do to start off on the right foot academically is to read your class syllabus carefully at the beginning of the semester. This isn't just a first-year thing. It's something everyone should do, whether it's your first semester in undergrad or your 12th semester in graduate school. They aren't the most exciting page turners, and they may not be as interesting as your Kecker Success Guide, but it's probably the most important thing you will read each semester. Hey, David, what are some of the things you look for in a syllabus?
The first thing I usually look for is the list of books so I can make sure I can find the ones I need. The syllabus should definitely include a list of books and other materials you need for the course. You'll often also find a list of what readings are due and when, so that you can prioritize what materials to buy first. I also look for the attendance policy, which can be different depending on the professor and course you're taking. I always look for the part of the syllabus that explains what counts as an absence, how many absences you can have, and what happens if you max those absences out. In some classes, you'll get dropped from the course if you miss a certain number of days. In others, the professor starts to dock your final grade. If I have any questions after reviewing the policy, I just ask the professor.
In addition to the books and attendance, 2 other important sections are the class schedule and assignment breakdown. The schedule usually tells you when readings and assignments are due and often lists the dates for major exams and projects. You can also find out how much your assignments are worth, which can help you plan. If you see that you have papers worth 25% of your grade due in 2 different classes during the same week later in the semester, you'll know ahead of time that you need to start working on those a little earlier. So when you go through your syllabi, get out your highlighter or Post-it notes or glitter pens or whatever it is you're into and mark them up. Then add major due dates to your calendar or planner and let the learning begin. Did we leave anything out?
We should probably talk about syllabus memes. There comes a point in every semester when faculty members start sharing it's in the syllabus memes on social media. Yes, your instructors use social media. Nothing is safe. Instructors won't get mad if you ask a question that's answered in the syllabus, but they do put a lot of work into creating syllabi and want you to put in the work to read them and live by them. My suggestion would be to look back over your syllabus to see if your question is answered somewhere in there.
And if you ever want more clarification, just reach out to your professor. Let them know you read the syllabus and ask for further insights. Instructors at UNCG want you to be successful, which is part of what we'll talk about in our next segment.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, no, it's okay. It's just, I'm really disappointed in the grade that I got on this paper.
Oh, okay.
You see, it's from my English class, and we had to write a draft and get feedback, and write a draft, get feedback, write a draft, get feedback, and write a draft,
and get feedback?
How'd you know? Okay, so like after all that, I still only got a B, and I just don't know why.
Yeah, that can be frustrating.
It's totally frustrating. Like, what do you do when you're doing all that you can, and you're listening and everything like that, and then you're still not getting the grades that you want?
Yeah, like who can you talk to get help with the concepts or applying the thing that you learned in class or getting help on your writing and your work?
Right, like I just wish there was like somewhere we could go or something to do or just like a resource or something that like could help us with that kind of stuff, you know?
Right, I completely understand. Hashtag fail.
Yeah, hashtag fail.
Hey, I'd like some feedback on this graduation plan. I've listed all of my requirements and I've noted like which ones have prerequisites, and I've checked last year's course schedule and I've seen, which ones are offered only in like the spring or in the fall and stuff like that. So I've done, all my homework. Am I on track to graduate in 2 years?
Definitely. This is exactly what you needed to do. You did your homework, you planned out everything ahead of time, and by preparing this far in advance, you're going to be ready to graduate in 2 years.
Great.
The people that have the most potential for positively impacting and influencing your academic experience at UNCG are faculty and academic advisors, whom have the opportunity to work with you over the next 4 years.
Absolutely. I have learned the importance of these relationships, so I try to connect with each of the faculty who teach my courses every semester, and also reconnect with my academic advisor, Christopher Jordan. They are my go-to support on campus for any questions I may have about my academics. I've met with my faculty members when I've needed extra help understanding the information we've been learning about in class, or when I've had questions about an exam or upcoming assignments. They're also really great people to talk to if they are teaching in the academic area you are majoring in. One of my professors, Brittany Cassidy, in social psychology, has been so great to me in my psychology major because I've been able to talk to her about internships and work experience, even my career goals after I graduate.
You're right. Faculty members can be such invaluable resources as long as you connect with them and take advantage of their assistance. I know a lot of students can find approaching their course instructor a little intimidating at first, especially if it's about asking for help or if you haven't done as well as you're on a test or an assignment as you wanted. But generally speaking, faculty want to support students in succeeding in their classes, and it's hard to do that for students when they don't reach out. Faculty are really great about making sure that you're aware of how you're doing in their classes because many will post their grades on Canvas or express concern about how you're doing about doing in the class by raising a flag in Starfish. All UNCG faculty are required to post their meeting availability in their syllabus. If the class meets in person, or your professor will hold regular office hours. And if the regular office hours don't work, or if you're in an online class, instructors will work with you to find another time to meet or to talk via phone or email. I've even seen faculty members to do online meetings over Google Hangout, or will call them on their cell phone.
And the same goes for academic advisors. I never had an academic advisor in high school, so when I first started at UNCG, I thought an academic advisor was really just the person who could help me pick out and register for classes every semester, but their job is a lot bigger than that. The professional academic advisors at UNCG are real experts on all the different academic and campus resources for students. My own advisor is my go-to for when I'm not sure where to go to address an issue. I can always feel confident that he will know or can help me point me in the right direction.
You mentioned that faculty can be great with long-term goals, and academic advisors can help with that too. A lot of times, students may only be thinking one semester ahead, but academic advisors can help you map out a semester-by-semester graduation plan with all the classes and requirements you need to earn your degree.
Yes, I mapped out my graduation plan with my advisor and it has been so helpful. I already know what classes to register for each semester so we can use our academic advising meetings each semester to focus on other things, like my plan to do paid internships for relevant work experience. Advisors are really great if there is a semester where things don't go as planned. They are experts when it comes to university policies and procedures that are really helpful to bouncing back when you've had a rough semester. They also are alerted if a faculty member raising a flag in starfish, which is great because they can help you problem solve, weigh different options, and develop a plan of action. Some advisors have specific walk-in hours where you can stop by their office and meet with whoever is on call without needing to schedule an appointment. But many advisors will be meeting with their students virtually this year through Zoom. So you may want to double check with your advising office to see what their plans are. A lot of academic advisors also post their appointment hours in Starfish, which I absolutely love because I can schedule an appointment online at any time, even at midnight, which is usually when I think about those kinds of things. But not all advisors have that as an option, so it is important to work ahead, connect with your advisor early, and make sure you're clear on how your own personal advisor manages those kinds of details.
Oh, and speaking of working ahead, that's probably the most important tip I could give any student when it comes to working with and connecting to either a faculty member or an advisor. They're really busy people, just like all of you students, and have lots of students that are trying to connect with them that they need to work with and support. So whether it's working ahead on your assignment or making sure you schedule and advise an appointment, keeping tracks of those types of things well before it becomes mission critical is the best way to ensure you're going to get the help that you need.
I couldn't agree more. One of the things you'll learn as part of the Kecker Common experience is that faculty and academic advisors are invaluable to helping you achieve your academic goals. You just have to take advantage of their support.
Sounds like a good hashtag goal to me, but your professors and advisors aren't the ones in control of your academic future. You are. And there are some potential obstacles along the way. Let's see what happens when some students encounter some academic integrity issues.
Days later.
What? Y'all got an A?
Yeah.
I was supposed to get an A.
Well, maybe you just had like an off day or something.
Yeah, but I copied like all of your answers.
What?
Yeah, like every single one.
We have different versions of the test.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, maybe instead of watching Kardashians all night, you should probably watch those books.
Hey, what's up? Oh, hey, not much. I'm just typing up a paper for my English class right now. It's going pretty easy so far. This is really interesting stuff. Where'd you get the stat right there? That right there? Oh, I just got that from Google. Did you cite the source? I don't see anything anywhere. Yeah, no I didn't. Do I actually have to do that? Yeah, that stuff is super important. If you consider plagiarism if you don't. And professors pay really close attention to that. Anytime you reference a source, online, a web page, or anything that someone else has published, you need to do an in-text citation and a full citation at the end. Oh, cool. How do I do that? Or is there someone that can help me? Oh, definitely. I go to the Writing Center all the time. They've helped me learn more about plagiarism, so I know how to avoid it and when to avoid it. They're on the 3rd floor of the MHRA building if you have any more questions. They're always ready to help. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah. Good luck with the rest of your paper.
You should be proud of the high academic standards that UNCG strives for and the preservation of UNCG's reputation. UNCG is an academic community that advances the quest for truth and knowledge, and your engagement reflects well on the university and contributes to the well-being of society.
Any violations of academic integrity can diminish your hard work and success, the university, and the public trust in our academic endeavors. So to help you out, we are going to give you some insight on what not to do so that you are prepared to succeed. First of all, do your own work. I know this may seem obvious, but when you turn in an assignment with only your name on it, then the work on that assignment should be yours and yours alone. This means that you should not copy any work done by or work together with another student. For some assignments, you might be expected to work in groups for part of the assignment and then turn in some type of independent report. Make sure that you know and understand where working in a group ends and begins.
Second, do not fabricate information. Never make up any type of information that is used in an academic assignment. Additionally, do not falsify anything either. Do not alter, misuse, produce, or reproduce any documents. Do not sign another person's name or your name to anything that contains inaccurate or fraudulent information. Once an assignment has been graded and returned, do not alter it and ask that it be graded again. Many instructors photocopy assignments and tests before returning them, thus making it easy to identify anything that has been altered.
Also, know when and when not to use your friends. They can be super helpful when studying for exams or working on assignments, but don't let your friendships jeopardize you or your college career. Before sharing information, think about what you are giving, what they might do with it, and what consequences might be if your friend misuses it. Even something like giving a friend last year's homework could result in academic misconduct if the friend copies your work and turns it as their own. There is a lot of peer pressure in college. Just try to avoid it.
Citations. Probably what you thought we were going to talk about when it comes to academic integrity, because it's what you were taught in high school. They teach you this early on because it's super important to always make sure you acknowledge your sources if you use another person's thoughts, ideas, or words in your work. If you don't, you're implying that someone else's work is your own, which is considered plagiarism. Plagiarism is the theft of another's intellectual property, which is a serious form of academic misconduct.
Did you know that the UNCG library created great tutorials for students to learn more about plagiarism, paraphrasing, and citing sources? There are free resources available on the library's website. All you have to do is click on Library Tutorials under Services, and bam, you are in.
That's super helpful. Did you know there's also such a thing as self-plagiarism? Yeah, many students don't know this and find themselves in a bad situation. To avoid this, make sure you don't submit the same work for credit in different courses. Even though it might be your own work, you are not permitted to turn in the same work and meet the requirements of more than one course. This applies even if you have to take the same course twice, and you are given the same or similar assignments in the second time you take the course. All assignments must be started from scratch. This also goes for other writings like the Kecker Common Experience Scholarship Essay.
We've all been told before, don't cheat. But why not just be proactive and avoid putting yourself in a situation where an instructor might suspect that you're cheating? Avoiding some of the most common types of suspicious behavior is simple. Before taking the test, just double check that all your notes are put away, your books are closed, your phone and other electronics are nowhere in sight. Having any of these things out in the open, or even just laying on the floor, could easily be seen as a cheat sheet.
Remember that syllabus stuff we talked about earlier? Many instructors will provide you with a course syllabus which may have more details about academic integrity. So make sure you read through this for every course you take. Different courses have different requirements and expectations, so what may be okay and acceptable in one course may not be the case for another course you take. I didn't read the course syllabus is never an excuse for academic misconduct. If after reading the course syllabus you have questions, just ask.
This tip may not seem as obvious as others, but make sure to protect your own work too. Any work or assignments you complete as a student are your intellectual property. You should protect it just as you would any of your other property, and never give another student access to your intellectual property unless you are certain why they want it and what they will do with it.
Also, don't forget to manage your time. We'll talk more about this later, but know that managing your time can help you in many ways, so make sure you don't put off your assignments until the last minute. Take it from us, you never want to find yourself in a position where your only options are to turn in an incomplete assignment or to cheat. Failing the assignment is pretty bad, but if you cheat, the consequences could be much worse, such as disciplinary record, failure of the course, and/or dismissal from the university.
We know this can be super overwhelming and maybe even scary at first, so just be sure to check out academicintegrity.uncg.edu for more details. If you know what to look for ahead of time, it won't be so intimidating. And if you are not sure what your instructors expect, just ask. It never hurts to get more information and ask questions. UNCG takes academic integrity seriously, so if you see something, say something. All this academic integrity talk is making me hungry. Are you ready to grab some food?
Absolutely, but don't forget your face covering. Face coverings are mandatory at UNCG. Every student, faculty, and staff member must wear a face covering that covers their nose and mouth while indoors on campus, including in classrooms, libraries, auditoriums, and meeting spaces. Face coverings are also required outdoors in situations where appropriate social distancing cannot be maintained. If you decide to not wear a face covering, you will not be able to attend class and will be subject to disciplinary action under the Student Code of Conduct and, depending on the situation, may be suspended from UNCG.
Yes, wearing a face covering is an expression of care, an acknowledgement of community, and a vital part of our plan to make UNCG as safe as possible for everyone. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something that we never seem to have enough of, time.
Okay, so it's 2:30 now, so I'm gonna study for my vocab for Spanish a little bit longer. Then I'm gonna head to the library to get some help on my research paper. And then I'm gonna study for my bio quiz until dinner. Then I'll head to the CAF. And then I'll head back to the EUC for my club meeting. And then I'll head to my room and study for my bio quiz. And then read my articles from the library. I'm a little tired, but if I get there by 11, I should be good to go for my 8 a.m. quiz.
When I first got to UNCG, my time management skills weren't all that great, but I figured out pretty quickly that I needed to learn how to manage my time better in order to get all my work done and be successful. There isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to time management. I had to learn what works best for me, just as you will have to learn what works best for you. So to help you brainstorm ideas, we asked some current UNCG students to give us their best time management tips.
Several students suggested using Google Calendar. It's free and connected to your UNCG email account. You can use it to schedule your day and get reminders and notifications on your phone. You can also download an app that disables your phone during preset study times.
Lots of students we talked to said setting up a schedule early on is key. Before classes start, you can use the academic planner and your Kecker Success Guide to set this up. This is your tool to schedule everything from classes to meals to study time to free time. It may take some time to write everything down, but it's scientifically proven that you're more likely to remember it and do it if you write it down. Another student even suggested scheduling goof-off time every day and also flexible time so you have space in your schedule for things that come up last minute.
Keeping a to-do list on a daily basis with prioritized tasks is another great way to make sure you're getting everything done and not letting anything slip through the cracks. It's really important early in the semester to look at all your syllabi at the same time and figure out when your busiest times are going to be. Then you can see which projects you need to start working on early and which exams you should go ahead and start studying for, so you can block those off on your calendar. It is important to always do your course readings ahead of time and look at your notes every day so you don't have to cram right before a test.
Be honest with yourself about how long it will take and build in extra time for the unexpected or those days when you know you just won't get work done. Pamela Thatcher, a psychology professor, discovered that students who pull all-nighters regularly have lower GPAs than students who do not. You may see this happen a lot in movies or TV shows about college, but it isn't a healthy or helpful thing to do. Studying ahead of time can help you get more sleep and better grades. And while getting enough sleep in college can be hard, it can make your life so much easier.
In addition to the Student's First Office, which is your one-stop shop for advising, the Academic Achievement Center is also in the Forney Student Success Commons and provides a variety of academic skills, workshops, and tutoring sessions throughout the year to help you out. They can help you learn how to manage your time, take better notes, prepare for tests, deal with test anxiety, and be a more efficient learner. You can either go to their website to request assistance, or you can check out the pages they created in your Kecker Success Guide that revolve around study skills. But there are so many other great resources on campus too, from the Office of Accessibility Resources and Services to the University Speaking and Writing Centers, to the Math Help Center, and more. We have an office on campus for everything you could possibly need help with as a UNCG student. This is all part of your academic experience at UNCG, so be sure to fully utilize these services that have been created specifically for you.
Well, that wraps up our GPS session. Thank you so much for joining us. We know this was a lot of information, but we hope you have found it to be helpful.
Since you have your phones on you, which I'm sure you definitely haven't looked at once this entire time, please go to the link listed on this slide now to answer 2 quick questions. We are eager to get your thoughts after attending this session, and we appreciate your responses in advance.
As you follow that link and complete this short questionnaire, just remember that our UNCG faculty and staff are always willing to help you succeed at the G. All you have to do is ask.
You can also connect with students like us. We are happy to share tips and tricks of our own that we have learned over time. And be sure to reach out to yfy@uncg.edu if you have any questions about getting in touch with campus resources. We look forward to seeing you on campus.